It's funny because I've spent many years of my business life trying to find the qualities that define an entrepreneur. And in truth, there are no rules because I've met successful people who are so diverse and different from each other, introverts and extroverts and loud guys and soft guys. And really, I guess at the end of the day, the one thing for me is my mantra that I find that all successful entrepreneurs possess, and I call it passion-fueled optimism. Because if you think about it, it's like two sides of the story. One is passion. You got to have passion with everything that you do. You got to love your business and love the industry that you're in. And you got to show passion for it. And on the other hand, you got to be an optimist if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, not a realist. Realists can be your CFO and your parents. You got to be an optimist. You got to think that things will be better than they really will be. And when you get to the problems and the obstacles, you'll find ways around them. Why? Because you're a passion-fueled optimist. So I'd say that to me is the DNA of a true entrepreneur.
I think a true entrepreneur is a visionary, first and foremost. Almost what others would say, a dreamer. I think that they have a never die attitude. Because a lot of the time you come across obstacles that might dissuade you from, pursuing your entrepreneurial dream. So certainly you have to be quite, quite determined, and you really have to persevere through a lot of challenges that you are most undoubtedly going to face. But I also think that leadership for entrepreneurs is very important. So entrepreneurs need to understand that they are leaders. And you lead by example when you're an entrepreneur. You do the stuff that you expect everybody else to do. And you take tough decisions as and when you need to take them. And I think probably one of the most important things as well of successful entrepreneurs, I would say, having an appreciation of the need to build the right type of team around you that is going to enable you to actually achieve the vision that you would have started off with.
I think the ability to know two situations: when to have a strong drive for success and when to have a strong resilience not to fail. Really, the challenge an entrepreneur faces is you go through two very different phases. There's a phase when things are going extraordinarily well, and there's a phase when things are not. And all entrepreneurs, regardless of what business you're in what sector, no matter how smart you are, how educated, you're going to go through both phases. And what's important is to know when to bring out which emotional arsenal, when to know to have the strong drive to succeed, and when to know to have the strong drive never to accept failure, regardless of all evidence to the contrary. The second thing I'd say from an entrepreneur's DNA is a very strong emotional intelligence, the ability to look at yourself and self-correct things you may be doing. Because what happens as an entrepreneur is you start first with an idea and you execute this thing. And if you're married to how you're executing it, you're probably going to fail. So you need to have a very strong sense of being able to look at yourself and saying, yeah, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Maybe I could do it better. So being able to self-critique, inward looking, that gives you a strong ability going into the world. One, to have a strong sense of who you are, but two, always to know that if there's a change you need to make, you'll be able to make that change.
You know, the DNA of a true entrepreneur comes from an entrepreneur having the capability to identify opportunities very, very quickly. Because if you are able to identify opportunities quickly as an entrepreneur, that means you get to be in the forefront of your landscape, whatever industry you're in. Because while everyone else is sleeping, at least you are able to see the opportunity before everyone else does, and that gives you a competitive advantage. So for me, I think identifying an opportunity very quickly is key for an entrepreneur. And I think the second part is that as an entrepreneur, it's very important that you understand how business runs and you have a strong business acumen, because it just gives you the ability to take your business forward. Because if you don't know how to run your business, even if you've got great ideas, but because you don't have strong business acumen and you don't know how to run the business, it just puts you at a disadvantage. So if you have the capability of running a business, and on top of that you are backed up with a strong eye for opportunity, you always potentially will always succeed.